work this. I don't know if I'm live or not. I don't know if my video is up here. Let's see. Say connection. I don't know if y'all can see me. Alright, I gotta figure out how to use this shit. Give me a second. Give me a second. I got some connection issues. My bad. It's your boy, Rich Slump. And I just came here. You already know. To keep it real. I'm gonna give y'all a second to come in the room. All right, I'm gonna just go right into it. I know a lot of y'all have heard about being in a Job season. I know a lot of people, when they are going through their process and stuff starts shifting and moving, they'll say they're in their Job season. And I'm no exception. I feel like I went through a Job season. Knock on wood. I really don't want no smoke. I don't want what Job went through. So maybe not a Job season, but I went through a time of testing, and it was definitely not a comfortable time. It definitely was not without a lot of just unnecessary BS. You know what I mean? I feel like that comes with the territory. A lot of times we glamorize this being called thing by God. And it's really not glamorous. A lot of times when God presents himself to you and comes into your life, a lot of hell breaks out. Those are the times that we find God. And even me myself, I don't feel like I truly knew God until I went through some tests and trials, and I had to lean on God. And I couldn't lean on my own understanding or a friend or my mother or anybody else other than God. And I'm gonna go into the Bible to Job 1:7. It says, "Then Jehovah said to Satan, 'Where have you come from?' Satan answered Jehovah, 'From roving about on the earth and from walking about in it.' And Jehovah said to Satan, 'Have you taken note of my servant Job? There is no one like him on earth. He is an upright man of integrity, fearing God and shunning what is bad.'" And that right there alone lets you know what type of God we serve. He's bragging on Job to the enemy. because he knows who he created. He knew Job in the womb. He know what he designed Job for. He was the right man for the job. Look, there's a lot in the name. Listen, back to the word. It says, at that Satan answered Jehovah, it is for nothing that Job has feared God. Have you not put up a protective hedge around him in his house and everything he has? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his livestock has spread out in the land. But for a change, stretch out your hand and strike everything he has, and he will surely curse you. He will surely curse you to your face. Then Jehovah said to Satan, look, everything that he has is in your hand. Only do not lay your hand on the man himself. So Satan went out from the presence of Jehovah. So see, a lot of times when God has put an anointing on us and he has called us for such a time as this, and there's a purpose on our life, we're going to be tested and put in situations that they're not in vain. This is to get us prepared to go from one glory to the next. And in my life, I never understood why I would be taken through different situations and circumstances like pure hell almost, especially as a child. And it was for the high call that God had on my life. Nothing is in vain. All things are working. And a lot of time God has to get our attention, and he uses people, places, and things. Had it not been for you going through the fire, you would not be the vessel that you are. You wouldn't be the chosen vessel if you hadn't been refined and if you hadn't come out of that. So we're going back to that. Many are called, but few are chosen. So Job was no exception. He was chosen by God to suffer the most. And it was because God knew that Job would not curse him. And he knew that he had designed him to be exactly who he was, and that the enemy would not have him in the end. And this is a hard chapter to really take in because Job went through everything. He lost his wife. He lost his wealth. He didn't lose his wife. His wife was he basically lost her because she told him to curse God. But he lost his kids. He lost all of his earthly possessions, his friends. But God had his hand on him all the while. And in the end, Job got double for his trouble. But see, a lot of times we want to go ahead to see what the ending's going to be like, but we know it doesn't work like that. We don't know that while we're going through hell right now and hellish relationships, that God is refining us for a higher calling. That next relationship might be the one that God is yoking you to, and he's refining you, and you're going through your process, a process of elimination. And a lot of these people that God will bring in your life, they'll provoke something in you, and it'll cause you to self-evaluate. It'll cause you to have to face some truths within self, because we are also allowing a lot of these people into our life for various reasons, because we have trauma and wounds that we need to heal from. You know what I'm saying? And we battle not flesh and blood, but principalities of darkness. That means a lot of these people that we meet they're being used. And the enemy, he knows what we like. He knows how to package it up. And sometimes God will run interference for us. So be mindful, be discerning, test the spirit by the spirit. But again, we all go through a time of testing. So during this process, back to Job, when God was testing him, Job, he hold on one second. Let me go back to that passage. Because this is a perfect example of man falling victim to circumstance. Okay, it says, while he was still speaking, another one came and said, fire from God fell from heaven and blazed among the sheep and servants and consumed them. I am the only one who escaped to tell. That's one calamity. While he was still speaking, another one came and says, the Chaldeans formed 3 bands and made a raid on the camels and took them. And they killed the servants with the sword. I am the only one who escaped to tell. While he was still speaking, look, just one thing after another, affliction after affliction after affliction. While he was still speaking, yet another one came and said, your sons and your daughters were eating and drinking wine in your oldest brother's house. Suddenly a great wind came from the wilderness and struck the 4 corners of the house, so that it fell on the young people and they were killed. I am the only one who escaped to tell. At that, Job got up and ripped apart his garments and cut the hair off his head. Then he fell to the ground and bowed down and said, naked I came out of my mother's womb, and naked I will return. Jehovah has given and Jehovah has taken away. Let the name of Jehovah continue to be praised. In all of this, Job did not sin or accuse God of doing anything wrong. See, this is where I would have failed. This is this right here alone would have driven any man or woman to just lose their mind. A lot of situations we're put in, the enemy knows that our family is a weakness. He knows that our friends are a weakness for us. Not saying that we shouldn't have family and friends. I'm saying he will use them to infiltrate us, to cause us to backslide. He'll use them in any type of way. He'll hurt and affect people around us to gain access to us. Don't think that you're not that important, because you are. And there's a battle going on right now on earth and in heaven and in hell for your soul. And it's that real. At the end of all of Job's suffering, again, I'll say he was tried and tested, and he gained double for his trouble. But some people don't get to see that end because they don't finish the race. A lot of times when we're afflicted, we go back to what we're used to. We go back to our old ways, our old habits, old people, old places, old ways of thinking and doing things, because we don't think that God's going to do it for us. But again, the race was given not unto the swift, but to that one that was going to withstand. And it's a process, and sometimes it's painful. Sometimes it's a painful process. God has to uproot things. Think of when you have to go to the dentist and getting a root canal. That tooth is poisoning you. It's rotten, and God has to. The dentist, acting as God, has to get to the root of that and pull that up out of your life, so that which was causing you pain, that you were covering up, it can begin to heal, so you can begin your healing journey. You know what I mean? And everyone, they don't They don't bear down and continue giving God a praise when he's going through things, when they're going through things. And that's sometimes the key to our breakthrough. When it seems like all hell is breaking loose in your life, begin to praise God and thank him in advance for whatever it is that he's beginning to do. When doors start closing, say, God, I thank you for that, because I know you're going to open a window. When it seems like people are turning on you, say, God, I thank you for exposing the plans of the enemy. And I welcome whatever it is that you're going to do next. You know, we got to get ahead of this thing. And I'm not going to tarry too long. I'm going to leave y'all with this. Even though this season that you're in right now, if you're going through some type of test, even though it may be uncomfortable, difficult, sometimes you might even want to shed a tear. Give God a praise. Even when it seems that all hope is lost, sometimes God will wait till the final hour to just show you that he's God. And we have to be able to get in the flow of it. We've got to have faith that can carry us in this next season, because we're going to see some miraculous things take place in our life, whether we're prepared or not. But you know, we want to be in position, we want to be in alignment, and we don't want to miss out on anything that God has for us. So again, when we go through our time of testing, have faith, for we walk by faith and not by sight. And we know that God is a real one above all else. I love y'all, and I'll be back ASAP like Rocky. Stay tuned. I don't even know how to end this.